by Daylight developer update for March is going to give us a kind of idea of what we're going to be expecting on next month's PTB for Chapter 31.5. And we're going to break down everything we're going to talk about, including some major changes to Twins. But before we do that, welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters. And if you're new to the channel, I am Old Head Gaming. If you want to stay up to date on all the latest horror game news, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's hop over. We're going to take a look at the patch notes, see what they've done with Twins. I know Haddonfield, Blight, some other perks are getting adjusted, so we'll see everything right now. All right, the March developer update. This just dropped a couple of minutes ago. Let's start with this picture, kind of the perks, the map, and the killers. And let's begin. Spring has sprung, and so has a new developer update. In this post, we'll share everything you need to know about what's coming up for our next update. As always, these changes will first head into the PTB on Steam. We're encouraging you to give them a try and let us know what you think. Well, Twins is the first. Let's take a look. Change. Reduce the time it takes to switch between Charlotte to 1.5 seconds was 3. That is a wow, as a complete cut in half. Reduce the time to unbind Victor to 0.75 seconds was 1. That's a little change, but still significant. Reduce the time it takes to charge Victor's pounce to 0.85 seconds was 1. Added the ability to recall Victor at any point while he is unbound, and added the ability to change between Victor and Charlotte near a hooked survivor. Interesting. Be warned, the anti-face camp meter will still fill if you're too close. We have made switching between Charlotte and Victor more responsive, given the killer the ability to call Victor at any time so it feels better to play. All right. That seems much more fluid for our friend, the Twins. Here's more updates. Change it. Updated 7 add-ons. Victor's pounce no longer latches onto healthy survivors. Victor can no longer be kicked after successfully pouncing, which does not latch onto a survivor. New. Victor's pounce now latches onto survivors when they're in dying state. Other survivors can crush Victor during this time to help the dying survivor. Victor will automatically return to Charlotte after 20 seconds. Brand new as well. While Victor is attached to a survivor or holding on a survivor in a locker, Charlotte gains 10% haste effect. This effect will be lost permanently if Charlotte hits the survivor. Remove. Survivors near Victor while he is latched onto another survivor no longer revealed by killer instinct. Okay, I feel like that's a worthwhile removal. I feel like you're getting a lot for that small step back. All right, dev note. Previously, the Twins' power heavily encouraged slugging. Since Victor could chain through pounces on multiple injured survivors, but only pounce a single healthy one. Furthermore, survivors could often save each other before Charlotte could make it to them. We have flipped this around. Victor will now be much more effective at injuring multiple survivors instead of assist Charlotte, who now moves faster while Victor is latched on in the picking up the survivor. This makes possible Victor to both injure and down a survivor without being forced to switch back to Charlotte in between. I really like this, honestly. I feel like playing against Twins was never fun. It was a lot of slugging. Most people didn't enjoy it. I feel like this makes them much more interactive now. New, the visual terror radius accessibility setting will now include Victor's grunts, and also Victor will now glow red when he is vulnerable to being crushed. I like both of these, to be honest with you. All right, here's the slight change to Blight. Just a minor update. He has been actually adjusted quite a bit, though, over the last couple updates. Improved collision detection to reduce cases where the Blight slides off objects. Dev note, it could be frustrating to slide off objects when trying to bump into and end your rush prematurely. We have improved the collision detection to make the Blight's rushes more consistent, especially during tighter corners. All right, no big deal. What are they doing to Haddonfield, which they've already had to rework once? Oh, I fucking hate this map to start with, but all right. Updated the map layout and reduced overall size, so it's smaller now. Reduced the length of hedges and fences, create more openings. Dev note, the map's long and narrow shape and rows of unbroken fences and or hedges made getting around the very time consuming, and we reduced the overall size and made more openings. Also adjust various houses to reduce the strength of strong loops and reduce the number of houses in the map. All remaining houses can be entered. All right. Great. Added new pallets and lockers along the edge of the map, updated the street tiles to feature more pallet loops, and adjusted the pallets loops in the parking tiles. The outdoor areas were fairly empty before, encouraging survivors to make a run for the nearest house when they were forced into chase. Since we've reduced the strength of houses, we have added some additional loops in the street to make them more competitive. All right. I mean, I mean, if we're reducing dead zones, I guess that's good. DS, which they had nerfed into non-existence. Let's see what they did. Increase stun duration back to 5 seconds. Let's go! And added a new stabbing animation. That sounds cool. So now you're like, when you actually activate DS, you're going to stab someone. Okay, I like this. I really, really like this. I felt like Decisive Strike had been, much like Iron Will, nerfed into basically uselessness. But I like this. I actually do. The survivor is locked in place for part of the stun while they're being dropped by the killer, so it doesn't leave them much time to run away when they hit the ground. We have increased the duration of the stun to give a fair chance to get some distance. While we're at it, we added the new animation. I like this a lot, actually. I feel like Decisive could be still bumped up back a little bit, but I feel like it's at least usable now. Adrenaline medium update. Okay, let's see what they did to Adrenaline. Did they kill it? Adrenaline no longer activates if you are hooked when the gates are powered. Reduce speed boost duration to 3 seconds was 5, and Adrenaline no longer causes you to wake up when facing the nightmare. Adrenaline had a lot of exceptions which made it difficult to play around. If a survivor was hooked while the exit gates were powered, they would be healthy and receive a substantial boost upon being unhooked, making it difficult for the killer to catch them before they could escape. We have made it so Adrenaline no longer pauses when you were on the hook. We've also removed the effect with Nightmare and specific powers. All right. I'm okay with them taking away the hook ability, and I'm fine with them taking away Freddy's Nightmare Wake Up. I don't know if they should have reduced it to 3 seconds of speed boost, but I'm not sure it's dead yet, but it definitely is a big hit to Adrenaline. Every killer's new favorite ultimate weapon change. Now reveals survivors' aura instead of causing them to scream. Okay, so if you're a calm spirit user, it's no longer going to defend you against ultimate weapon, but now distortion will. Reduce activation time to 15 seconds was 30, and increase cooldown to 8, 70, or 60 seconds was 40, 35, and 30 seconds. Okay. Ultimate weapon was a jack of all trades, providing both information and constant way to interrupt survivor interactions, allowing them to synergize too well with other perks. Rather than screaming, survivors will instead have their aura revealed. That means they'll no longer interrupt survivors' interactions, so those survivors won't know when they are being revealed by the killer. Since ultimate weapon is easy to activate, it's possible to keep its effect active throughout the entire match. We have increased the cooldown and decreased its activation window to ensure some downtime between them. Okay. It's a nerf. I don't think it's terrible. I kind of like the fact they've changed it to an aura reading perk, but like it is what it is. Emblems remove the ability to lose a pip. Huh. With emblems being used solely for monthly rewards these days, it felt needlessly punishing to lose a pip after a rough match. This quality of life change will make the emblem system less stressful. This also applies to modifiers. You can enjoy these limited time modes without worrying about your grade. Okay. All right. Store. Major update. Uh-oh. What are they doing to the store? Visual overhaul to the entire store menu. Well, that's good because the store looks like ass and has for years. Added specials tab to highlight items that are actually on sale. Absolutely has been needed for such a long time because you'll see stuff's on sale and you'll never be able to actually find out what it is because the features always kick everything else out. Added collections tab to find cosmetics from a specific collection. Added bundles containing multiple items at a discounted price. New Killer Mori animations can now be viewed in the store. Added a weekly gift that can be claimed for free. What? What is this? The store hasn't changed much since its introduction in 2018. This update makes it easier to find what you're looking for, allows us to bundle content together at a reduced price. For example, now it's possible to purchase an entire DLC pack through the in-game store rather than purchasing each chapter separately. Interesting. I would love to know more about what this weekly gift is going to be, but we'll see. And here's like a look at the store. Like here's the Gold and Silk collections, Resident Evil, Stranger Things, Spring Emblems, Hollows. Okay. And then like here's featured. So like if Naughty Bear was featured on sale, Naughty Bear showing with no longer needing just cells. That's kind of cool. All right. I like it. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do when this actually rolls out in 31.5, but I'm for it. And here's like the weekly gift. You can see it right here and you just go in and you claim it. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the same for everyone, but like, hey, that's cool. This was what we had seen earlier when they were talking about loot boxes, but if they're just a free prize box that you get every 7 days, who gives a shit? Archives minor update. New tomes and their respective risks will now open at the same time as the update. Thank God! Let's go! Everyone hated that fucking 1 day wait where you had to go in, you would start be excited for the new chapter, the new update, you're going into play, and you had to wait another day for the fucking tome to open. This this might be a minor update, but this was always one of my least favorite things in the world. Ooh. New Rift Bundle option, which grants the premium Rift rewards and a 20-tier head start at a discounted price. Rifts have historically opened mid-chapter updates, but no more. You can crack those things open and get a pass that includes 20-tier skips. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to extend the Deep Rift a little bit or not. This actually sounds like some really good quality of life stuff. I'm actually okay with what we're seeing here in 31.5. I feel like a lot of good stuff is on the way. I love the store changes. I like the perk changes for the most part, and I think Twins is going to be more fun to play as and play against. But I could be wrong. We'll see if Charlotte and Victor are suddenly too strong on the PTB. A lot of killers have been like overcompensated and then had to be walked back a bit. I think Haddonfield's a shit show no matter what. We'll see what the map looks like. I'm sure we'll get a little bit on the PTB when it comes next month. But actually, for the most part, for a mid-chapter, I like what's going on here. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on things. As always, thank you for watching, and later, mates.